Alrighty, thank you for joining. My name is Paula Zuniga. I'm the BDM here at Baicells. Today we're going to be talking about Baicells' 2025 plan and how we are leading the way forward. Our speakers today are going to be Gerry Ford, Majdi Shami, and myself. Okay. The agenda today is going to be an executive overview with Gerry, product strategy and roadmap with Majdi, and meeting insights and strategy with myself. Okay, Gerry, I'll go ahead and let you get started.
Good afternoon for everybody, and good morning for those on the West Coast. I say Happy New Year to everybody. I'm looking forward to 2025 and what it means for your companies and our company as well. And we'll talk through those initiatives in just a few minutes that we're focused on as we go into the year. I did want to talk about initially the decision by the Department of Defense to put Baicells on what's called the CMC list, which is a Chinese military companies list. It was happened on January 7th, and we were surprised by the move. We had been talking to the government, but we were surprised by the activity and the designation. It's most important to you as our customers and our partners to know that there's no commercial restrictions for yourself and for us during this time of designation, and there's no customer sales and marketing restrictions as well. We adamantly disagree with the Department of Defense's decision to put that designation on Baicells. We've started the appeal process. There is precedent for people and companies being removed from that list, and our management team is optimistic that we will be removed from that list. Did we want this to be the start of our 2025 webinar? No, but we're also wanting to be transparent from a company point of view with you as our customers and our partners. So I thought I would talk about it right now. I'd also give you the ability to ask any questions in the chat related to it. I'll go through our initiatives that we have planned over the next few slides. And at the end of that, if there are any specific questions related to the DoD list, I'll address them at that time. So I'll give you a little time to type your question, and then we'll be happy to answer as best as we can. Okay, well, let's move on. Our 2025 priorities, in a lot of ways, are a continuation of our 2024 channel activities. We spent a good bit of time in 2024 as redoing our channel, developing our partner network, and developing the resources for our partners and our channel partners. So we'll continue to do that in 2025. I think most of that development is on the private LTE side from a partner point of view, where we've established new distribution with ScanSource, and we have our existing partnerships that will continue to build partners through Wave, Wingcom, and StreakWave. I think from our perspective, we're excited about our distribution network, where it's at the size we would like for the North America. I think as we move forward, our growth will be on building and relationships with system integrators and partners who can support the private LTE and service provider model that we have. We're going to this year implement a tiered incentive plan that can actually be more specific at giving the opportunity to be more successful as a partner with Baicells and with large customers. I think you'll see a lot of that as we go into the first quarter as part of motivating both ourselves and as our partners. We'll actually have regular performance monitoring where we give you key metrics, where you're actually seeing the success your company is having and your partnerships having, and seeing how that's benefiting our customers. And I think from the expansion of Mexico, we were primarily a market where we focused on tier one in 23 and 24 in Mexico, but we're beginning to build that partner program and excited about extending our North American partner program to Mexico. And in that same light, for not only Mexico, but for many parts of the US, having bilingual engineering and support teams that enabled us to have North America time zone assistance. And so whether it's tier one, tier two, or tier three, being able to support those people here and not have to wait overnight for a lot of assistance. So we're excited about all that. Okay, Paula. The second part is really the acceleration of targeted sales and our development efforts. We're looking at focusing on working with a global system integrator or consultant, a large company who can help us develop private LTE opportunities across not only North America, but globally. We've started focusing this year specifically on the North America SLED market, so state and local education organizations. We hired Kate Sajanic back in June, and she's been leading that effort for us. We will continue focus that focus this year, especially as we drive additional partners. You'll see a lot of our trade show activity is driven off that education and state and local market, and I think it's a good fit for our products and our services. We've always sold into the Caribbean area, but haven't really concentrated. So I think this year you'll see us focusing on a Caribbean sales effort with our partners and a dedicated team, supporting those customers and products, both from a marketing point of view, a support point of view, and a product point of view. And then as we continue to redo our website and our social media resources, you'll see us focus on high growth use cases, mining, logistics, healthcare, things that can help our partners and help our customers see the flexibility of our products for specific industries. And then, as always, we do have an OEM organization that'll continue to support. It's a big part of what we do. Anything we're really focused on, not only in North America, but globally, will include an OEM and, of course, software partners. You've seen a lot of the activity we've done with Blue Arcus and Pente, and we're also involved with other core companies to help those integrations where those additional resources are needed by customers and partners. So what does that look like as you go on to the next slide, Paula? What does that look like across all our markets? So we streamlined from 2023, where we were calling on almost everybody, and 2024 to have four main groups. The corporate group, which is the tier one and OEM, service providers, which includes our very strong area and WISP and tribal organizations, and edge at the SLED market, and then also into private LTE, which includes those four main pillars: enterprise, manufacturer, agriculture, and warehouse. Through our work this year, we've added a couple specific areas where we've improved our focus, I would say. But generally, we're staying with our main four areas. Underneath service providers, we are doing some specific things with managed service providers, some MSPs. And in private LTE, we are having success with a number of companies related to mining. And so that's included in our area of expertise. You'll see the use cases and the support mechanisms coming in those. So as you look in our market and what we can provide to our customers and our partners, these are the areas where we're focused. That doesn't mean we can't provide a large opportunity at an amusement park, or we can't support a large multi-building arena or festival. We do those things, and we do them well, and we're happy to help our partners and our customers accomplish those goals. But our main focus from a staffing, marketing, and support point of view are primarily in these areas. So Eric, I'll stop for just a second to see if any questions have come up that we can address.
No questions came up. We can go ahead and move on.
Okay. I will say before we move on into our product stuff, since I got here in October of 23, both internally and externally, we've tried to be transparent in the way we're doing business. I think the ultimate test of that comes now where we're put on this DoD list and how we handle that. As the steward of our product with you as customers and partners, we believe that it is the time to test that transparency and to test our resiliency. So Baicells believes that we'll come out of this year in a much stronger, a better place as a company within North America and within us, with our global company. And we'd like you to be a part of that. But as you have concerns over the next weeks or months or even days, you should reach out to me or Eric or your sales rep and ask for assistance. We're happy to get on phone calls with customers and partners and make people feel comfortable and being transparent with our security, our vulnerabilities, or any concerns they might have. Please don't just sit and think we don't want to talk about it. We're happy to be involved. We're happy to be engaged. We want to continue to celebrate our successes together. Okay, let's turn it over. Maj, you want to take the next step and walk through our product roadmap?
Sure. Hello, everyone. I'll briefly go over our current 4G, 5G portfolio and then outline our 5G roadmap. Paula? At Baicells, we provide a comprehensive solution. As you can see in this slide, our offerings extend beyond the RAN component. We also provide CPEs for fixed wireless access, and all of the core components, including BOS for billing, OMC for network management, and EPC 5G core network. Paula? Our compact 4G radio offer various power options, including all-in-one, RUDU, CU, and also we have the distributed systems, the RRU plus BBU. We also provide both indoor and outdoor eNodeB Bs. Some models feature integrated internal antennas. All of our radios you see here are FCC certified, compliant with Part 96 for CBRS and also Band 41. They come with an option of integrated LTE core. We call it Halo B. You might be familiar with. They are all suitable for both fixed wireless access and private LTE use cases. We're 3GPP compliant. It's plug and play with the sound capabilities. These radios are excellent for non-line of sight. So if we look, for instance, here we have the Nova 436Q, which is the Nova. It's for outdoor radios, 4G radios. For the 436Q, there's just a naming convention. I'm just gonna let you know how we name these devices. 4 is 4 ports. 36 is the total power in dBm. So 36 dBm, that's 4 watts. And since it has 4 ports, that's 4 times 1 watt. So we have the 436Q, that's 4 by 1 watt. We have the 249, it's 40 watts. Then we have the Nova 846. This is 8 by 5 watts. It's 4 by 4 MIMO. It has you can have 2 actually 4 by 4 MIMO sectors. Then we have the Neutrino 430X, and I'm gonna go over the 436Q and the Neutrino 430 and 430X in more details. This is just an overview of what we have. The I stands for the integrated antenna, so Nova 442i and the 230i and the 430i, they come in with integrated antennas. The 442i has an integrated omni antenna, and the 430 and 230, they have the directional antennas. Ola?
Okay,
All right,
before we move on,
yeah.
Majdi, we do have a question.
Sure.
The question is, will Halo B be extended to your 5G products soon?
We have we do have our own 5G, but it's not like Parto. It's not built in like the 4G, but and we also have third party partners we work with that offer 5G cores. So it's going to be different, but we do have the 5G core offerings.
All right, thank you. Hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah. All right. Nova 436Q, it is UL certified for both ordinary and hazardous locations, which is called C1D2. It's for the oil and gas industry. It is a CBRS radio, 30 dBm per port, which is like 1 watt. That's the four ports, 4 by 1 watt. The power supply is the industry standard minus 48 volts. In the operating mode, it comes in 3 operating modes. It's a 2-carrier radio, so you can use it as a single carrier or a dual carrier in a split mode or carrier aggregation. I'll explain later the difference. The synchronization, it's the normal GPS. Yeah, now the peak rates, it depends. We support 3 TD configuration, 1, 2, and 6. 6 will give you the highest uplink throughput, and 2 would give you the highest downlink throughput. So it depends upon your use case. You can configure this radio to match your use case. So for carrier aggregation, if you aggregate 2 carriers, you will get up to 290 megabits per second on a downlink. That's on config 2, and 70 megabits per second on an uplink. That's on config 6. That's for carrier aggregation for 40 megahertz, two carriers. If you want to use it in a dual carrier mode or a single carrier, that will give you half of the throughputs, which is 145 on a downlink and 35 on an uplink. User capacity is 128 users per carrier. So if you want to use it in a split mode, you get 128 plus 128 users. But if you need to maximize the throughput, the capacity, you use it in a carrier aggregation, and we only support 128 in the carrier aggregation mode. So you get the choice and option. Modulations for downlink, we go all the way up to 256 QAM, and for the uplink is 64 QAM. With some of the features we have, it supports MOCON. This is for neutral host. SON, TR069 for network management interface, and VoLTE. Hold on. The indoors, Neutrino is our brand for indoor 4G. It's 430, so total power of 30 dBm, which is 1 watt. So that's why it's 4 times 250 milliwatts. More or less, it's the same software, so it's the same features, but it's lower power. So it is 24 dBm per port. It's PoE, the power through PoE plus. The same thing as I indicated, from carrier aggregation perspective and throughputs. It has an integrated antenna, 3 dBi omni antenna, and it supports also TR0. It's the same features, software features as I indicated before. So it's because it's the same software. Now, also that we have the Neutrino 430X. This combines and integrates the Neutrino 430, the normal one, this one that you see right here, with an Wi-Fi 7 access point. So we can either offer CBRS service with CBRS user equipments, or Wi-Fi 7 with normal terminals. With Wi-Fi 7, you can get all the way, the bandwidth can go all the way up to 320. Also with the 430X, I don't have the slide here, but I'm just letting you know the differences. You can have XGS PON port, and it operates in 3 operational modes. You can have it as an LTE or Wi-Fi 7, or even it aggregates LTE and Wi-Fi with the proper user equipments. Wi-Fi peaks up to 5.7 gigabits per second and 512 users on the Wi-Fi end. So it's a new product that we have, and we're currently testing it, and it works great. Okay, Paula? Yeah, for GCPEs, we offer several CPE categories, 4, 6, and 15. They are high-gain CPEs. They're all FCC certified, band 48 and 41. That's what we mostly use here in the US. We'll take a look at the CAT 15, which is the most used ones here, indoors and outdoors. Paula, please. Yeah, for the high gain outdoor CPE 15, CAT 15, we have 3 variants. We have the 26 dBm combined, and we have the high power, which is 30 dBm combined. And then we have the EUD version, which is 5 dBm. The EUD version is, you can use it without the SAS connectivity. It's PoE plus, so that's how you power it. Carrier aggregation, I mean, it supports 4 carriers on a downlink. You can aggregate 4 carriers, and on an uplink 2 carriers. But when you from MIMO perspective, 4x4 MIMO only can be used on a 2 carrier aggregation, but you can aggregate up to 4 and use 2x2 MIMO. But it supports 4x4 MIMO as a device. The actual throughputs, the peak throughputs are really good. 580 megabits per second on an uplink, on a downlink, and 70 megabits per second on an uplink. This is utilizing 4 LTE carriers. It's a 2T4R antenna. So the gain for the CBRS is 18 dBi, which is one of the highest in the market, and 14 dBi for the band 48, and bandwidth is 30 degrees. Modulations, 256 QAM on a downlink. That's how you get really these high throughputs, and an uplink 64 QAM, and it supports NAT and bridge and all the VPN protocols, TR069 and SNP. We have the indoor version. More or less, it's the same features, but it has the Wi-Fi 6 component, which is, it gets you up to 574 megabits per second on a 5 gigahertz spectrum, 128 users. So you can use it. It just combines the actual Wi-Fi and the LTE technologies, and the power is 30 dBm, this is the max allowed for indoors. Feature-wise, it's the same as I mentioned in the 15th, the outdoor. right, Paula? All right,
Hey,
5G.
hold on, Majdi. Before we
Yeah,
move on to
sure.
5G, we do have several questions. So
Yeah.
let's get into the first question. A general question: how is your market niche in Africa and South America, and what are the main challenges for penetration?
We do have customers and a lot of trials actually going on in the Latin America. As mentioned by Gerry earlier on, we have we tackle private enterprise networks, 5G and LTE, and also we're working with MNOs over there. The bands, we have other bands, but I'm here focusing on 41 and 48 because of the North American, but we do support band 40, band 78, band 23, band 7, band 3. So all the bands that these markets require, we do support, even narrowband.
All right, perfect. The next question is, what is the deployment scenario for the 430X? And what is the test scenarios that you were referring to?
Yeah, deployment scenarios. It's for indoor use. It will utilize both technologies. So if you have for instance, the CPE-15 that I mentioned here, it supports both. You can actually aggregate LTE and 5G, LTE and Wi-Fi 7. You can get really very, very high throughputs. And also we have like a proprietary protocol. If for instance, if LTE signal is really bad, it will auto switch you to Wi-Fi and the vice versa. And we're currently testing it here. And I know that Eric, you're also testing it at home. So from use cases, indoor coverage, it could be really good, useful case for that device.
All right, perfect. Thank you. There was an add-on to that question. I could answer it real quickly. Has the 430X been certified FCC? And the answer is yes. The next question, Majdi, is on the 430X, does it support Hotspot 2.0 and what's the price point? I could answer the price point once you answer the Hotspot 2.0 question.
I'm not sure. I really need to go and check, but it's Wi-Fi 7, so it is, the entire spectrum of 2.4, 5, 6, and 7 gigahertz. Now, I can come back with the Wi-Fi with the Hotspot 2.0. I'm not sure.
Okay, we'll look that question up for you. The price point is actually $2,500, and you can get it from any one of our distributors. Okay, so the next question: Can we get all specs of the present eNode B? Any of them are not TDD CBRS. So just answer the second part of that. All of our eNode Bs are on na.baicells.com, and you can download the data sheets there with all of the specs. So Majdi, if you could answer the other discussion about TDD and CBRS, any of our eNode B is not TDD.
Say that again, Eric. What's the question?
Do we have FDD radios, and what other bands again?
We do have FDD radios to cater for other markets. Yeah, which I mentioned. We have band 3, band 7, band 28, and other bands. Yeah, we do support FDD and TDD. Our radios do support that, and also we can customize any band that you guys interested in, if we don't have it already.
Perfect, thank you. All right, let's go ahead. That's all the questions currently. Guys, continue to bring those questions in, and we'll go ahead and let Majdi continue with his 5G portion.
All right, 5G. Okay, our flagship here is Aurora 243. It's UL certified for both ordinary and hazardous location. not too many vendors do that. It's kind of expensive to certify, especially the hazardous location. It's time consuming, but we do have the certification C1D2 for oil and gas and any environment that requires that certification. It's suitable for fixed wireless access and private 5G use cases. We also certified it for Europe, SE and UKCA certifications for band 78 and 77. It is currently FCC certified on band 48 for 2 by 5 watts, which is enough. It's a 10-watt radio or 20-watt radio, 2 by 10, but for CBRS 5 watt per port is good enough. It supports 1,200 RRC connected users, and the peak rate can go all the way up to 850 megabits per second and on a downlink, and 660 megabits per second on an uplink. Modulations both are 56 QAM. That's now the difference between 4G and 5G product. Now the modulation on the uplink is a 256 QAM. It supports voice services, voice over an R, and we have from frequency perspective, we support band 41, 48, 77, 78, and 79. The bandwidth are very flexible, 10, 20, 30, all the way to 100. It's a 2-carrier, it's 2 by 2 wide carrier radio. GPS, it's 40 dBm per channel. That's the 10 watts. The antenna, it's 2T, 2R. It's N-type connector. And what's good, we have an option here. If you look at this photo, you can see a panel antenna. This is just it comes and you can fix it on top of the radio, and it looks like an integrated antenna. So this is an option if you don't want to go with the external antennas. 2 variants, you can have it DC or normal AC. Maximum power consumption is 150 watts. Now, from the TD configuration, it uses a MU1, which is 30 kilohertz. Depending on your configuration, you can actually get the throughputs that you need. We support 5 millisecond periodicity. And you can see here, D. I mean, each D is a time slot, and each time slot is 0.5 millisecond. So depending on your use case, you can pick the proper configuration. And you can see the actual throughputs there. So the configuration 2.5 single periodicity will give you the highest throughput in a downlink on an uplink. Sorry, on a downlink, 850 megabits per second, and the 2.5 single periodicity would give you the 660 on an uplink. So it's very flexible. And very configurable, so depending on your use case. But you can peak at 850 megabits per second on an uplink, on a downlink, and 660 on an uplink. Stellar 227, it is, we use FSM 100 generation Qualcomm here. It has the same software. So from feature perspective, it's more or less the same. It's a low power. It's 2 by 250, so it's half a watt total. PoE++, that's how we power it. It comes with 4 ports, 2 RJ45, 1 gig Ethernet, and 1 10 gig Ethernet SFP plus optical port, and 1 gig SFP port. Power consumption is low, it's only 30 watts. And the other features are more or less the same. Coverage is 2,000 square meter on an average. And the synchronization also, it supports network listening and the IEEE 1588 version 2. And it's currently certified on it will be certified actually next week on band 48, 78, and also 77. So you can actually have 100 megahertz of bandwidth on CBRS. We have a feature, it's called switching feature, that actually can, because according to the protocol, you're allowed to use only 40 megahertz on the first carrier, but we have a feature you can utilize band 78 and get the full 100 megahertz of if the spectrum allows for CBRS. And it's 128 RRC connected users per cell.
All right. Before we move on, we do have another question, Majdi. Is the Stellar a ready product? Is it certified?
Yes. Yeah, it will be certified next week. I'm sure of that, but we have it. A lot of people are testing it. We have it in our labs, and some customers are doing. They're testing it. So it's there officially, commercially, can be available next week. But we do have samples for testing currently.
All right. And another question we just got in: what is the max EIRP certified by FCC for Cat A CBSD?
For Cat A's CBSD, it's 37 dBm. It is that's our certification always meets the standards. 30 dBm for indoors. Yeah, A is indoors, so it's 30 dBm.
Okay, perfect. All right, we're caught up on questions.
Are we?
Yes, we're all caught up on questions right now.
All right. Yeah, now the next couple of slides, I'm gonna go over the actual 5G CPEs. Our outdoor 5G CPE here, what's good about this is it supports SA and SA. It has almost all the frequencies out there, whether LTE and 5G. So it supports both technologies. The throughput, it's 3.5 gigabits per second on a downlink and 555 on an uplink. The way we do this, we aggregate on an LTE up to 100 megahertz. That's 5 carriers. So you can aggregate 5 carriers on a downlink. If you use the actual dual connectivity, you can aggregate 4 LTE channels plus 1 NR channel. And for SA, which is only 5G, you can aggregate up to 2 on both uplink and downlink. So with these kind of aggregations, you can really achieve extremely very, very high throughputs on both downlink and uplink. The maximum output power is at 29 dBm, and it's 4x4 MIMO on a downlink and 2x2 MIMO on an uplink. 2T4R, that's the antenna. The actual antenna gain is 8 dBi, and it's a PoE powered radio. A CPE, and it supports the VPN protocols and the network modes, NAT and bridge. And what's good about this, we also certified it for PTCRB, which is the certification needed for tier 1 operators. So it is FCC certified and PTCRB certified, both the outdoors and indoor CPEs. Indoors, the same software features. It supports all these bands that you see here, LTE and 5G. It aggregates 5 bands, 5 carriers on LTE, and it aggregates both LTE carriers and 5G carriers. The only difference from the outdoors, the power, of course, because it's an indoor, and the Wi-Fi 6 capability. It supports IEEE 8X with 128 users on the Wi-Fi part. Paulo. Yeah. Bicore. Okay. Bicore. What's good about our Bicore, it's a multi-platform. It means we support 4G, 5G, IMS, NB-IoT on the same platform. And we support the mobility, multi-EPN, roaming, billing, emergency calls. We interface with PBX. And it's really the maximum throughput is it can be deployed on premise or on cloud. It's 20 gigabits per second of throughput. You can connect up to 1 million subscribers with 50K plus users online and over 2,000 base stations for G5G. So it's an integrated core that can take care of all the network and all subscribers you have, and it's scalable. You can scale it up and down as you need. We also have a mini Bicore version of this for like 10 eNode Bs or 10 gNode Bs or a small number of users instead of this big server. Okay. Roadmap. We currently, all the Auroras are for, outdoor 5G designations. The Aurora 200 series, they're Qualcomm FSM 100 chipsets, and they're 2x2 MIMO. But we're moving towards the second generation FSM 200 chipsets, the Aurora 400 series. We're adding more bands, we're adding more features as we go on. So the Aurora 454, we already have customers using it and implementing it and deploying it as we speak. It's for band 41, which is the the ABRS band. This radio, it's a 2-carrier 4x4. Uses a second generation chipsets, and the throughput can get up to 1.5 gig on bits per second on a downlink, and 660 megabits per second on an uplink. It's 4x4 MIMO, carrier aggregation, 200 megahertz of bandwidth. So we have it. And we also have on the roadmap the Aurora 454 for band 452 and 454 for band CBRS also. And we have a big machine here, which is the Aurora 846, it's like 8x8 MIMO, and you can have 2 4x4 sectors on a 5G carriers here. Then we have the Stellars, Stellar 430 on band 78, and also with band 79 for Asian Pacific. Yeah, so all the 400s here, they use second generations. They're 1.5 gigabit per second on a throughput, 2 carrier aggregations, and all much more. Latency is 10 milliseconds, and a lot of 5G features also are including on these radios. We also have the millimeter wave already certified, FCC certified on 28 gigahertz of spectrum, FR2, and we call it Aurora 6449M. That's for millimeter wave. We have also the CPE that goes with it as well. That's all for me, guys. If you have any questions, I'm here to answer.
One last question. On the Nova 846, the GUI shows a 5G.
Nova or Aurora?
Nova. Sorry, Nova.
Nova. Okay.
On the GUI, one of our attendees has it deployed. It shows a 5G frequency cell on the GUI itself. The customer wants to know, are there any 5G features coming for the Nova 846
No.
or included with the Nova 846?
No, not that I know of. I don't think there is any 5G features coming to the Nova 846. But the
right.
Aurora that's the upgrade for 5G.
Okay, thank you. We'll reach out to you as well to answer that question a little bit more in depth if need be. All right, we can go ahead and move on, Paula.
Okay. To discuss marketing insights and strategy, we'll be promoting Baicells through trade shows. We'll be attending major trade shows both in North America and globally. So just to name a few that we'll be at this year, we'll be at MWC in Barcelona, IWCE, ConnectX, and FutureCom in Brazil later this year. We'll be engaging with industry leaders through speaking sessions. So this is something that we really want to take more advantage of, just getting in front of a wider audience and educating people on Baicells. We'll be demonstrating innovative technology and solutions to a global audience. So at some of these events, we'll be having our 5G solutions and just being able to showcase those. And then we'll be establishing new partnerships and strengthening our business relationships. Okay. We plan on growing our presence on social media by increasing engagement through webinars and live discussions. So we do plan on hosting a new webinar each month for the remainder of this year. We'll be sharing use cases to highlight real-world applications of Baicells products. So this is something that I'm really excited about. We do have new use cases on the horizon that I'm very excited to start showcasing on our social media. We'll be promoting any new product launches and innovations to drive excitement. So anytime a new product comes out, I will be advertising that on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, just kind of talking about the new product and any applications it can be used for. We'll be providing global updates to showcase our industry's impact. So this essentially just ties in with the new use cases that we have coming up. We'll be highlighting customer success stories and implementing targeted ad campaigns to expand our global reach. So this reminds me, our next webinar will be hosted by our sales manager in Mexico, and I will be advertising that within the next couple weeks. Okay, expanding our newsletter reach. So this is a newsletter that comes out monthly. We plan on expanding our Latin America audience through localized relevant campaigns, such as social media posts and email blasts as well. We'll be highlighting global updates to appeal to a wider audience, and we'll be featuring exclusive interviews with industry leaders and innovations. So this ties into our panel discussions. I really hope that we will be able to record those and be able to post them up. And then we'll be adding regional content to enhance personalization and relevance. Okay, that's all I have. Thank you for listening. Is there any additional questions? Eric?
It does look like there are no additional questions. Thank you, everybody, for joining today. We really appreciate you all being here. And if you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to us at sales_NA@baicells.com, and we'll definitely get, whatever you need taken care of. Again, thank you, everybody.
Thank you.